Great, I'm going to sum this debate using two clashes. First clash is how these messages going to be intercepted, how they're going to be analyzed and understood. And the second, it's going to be layer, it's our commitment as a human race towards, our commitment in this program towards the human race and its safe continuation, blah, blah, blah. But first, before, extensive rebuttal that kind of conflicts everything they're saying, because the whole bench is saying pretty much, we want to create a message which is balanced. I'll show you why it's not balanced to begin with. And we want to send something which is complex because they can understand this complexity, which you've then already kicked that off the table, but we'll kick it again. So start with that. First of all, the message can never be balanced because the way that bad images always going to be engraved into our brain. Because when you see a dead body or an atomic bomb, it's going to be much more engraved than a flower or a sound of wind. And let's take it why before that we're putting those sounds of wind, because there is an agreement that these people are an entity of some kind of intellect, that they live in the same sphere that can actually create something like us, meaning that they have wind, they have flowers, they have something that we can relate to. But what we're saying that these messages that we're sending must be short, and I'm going to explain why. But before that, we need to understand that our brain can take remembers only 7% of what's being said to. So we need to make this impression a very important one, like Yair brought to you. If you're sending something which is really, really bad, let's say atomic bomb, then you see everything scorched, and you put it in a nice slideshow, like a guy shows you, a nice slideshow of like a big atomic bomb, and then small, and then goes on, and there's living people, but still, what you remember is not the flowers at the end in the Kyoto Gardens. You remember the atomic bomb that blew everything off. Now, that's for the first thing. Now, the second thing is, this connects directly to what I've then told you, that already kicked out. The first impression, this is something that has been agreed, the whole two benches. The first impression was what's important here, because the Voyager was just the beginning to other programs of Mars 1, of maybe doing something in Mars later, of going to the moon for other latest, because we're thinking towards the end, in 2,000 years, 2,000 light years. Meaning that we want to create something which is very simple to understand, that's probably not reflecting what's going on right now in this country, in this globe. Meaning that it doesn't matter if you send something that maybe even takes our last 3,000 years, which is at best what we know, they might get it in 2,100 years, or whatever it's going to be, then it's not going to be reliable anyway. But still, the message that we want to send is, there is a species out there, you're not sure where it is, but it is good. You should communicate, because the first agenda was, please communicate with us, we want to communicate with you. Now this comes from Helena and says, no, if they're going to feel a little bit threatened because something fell from the sky, or maybe they got from the sky, it's already suspicious. You want them to open the box and like see nice candies, see nice flowers, see nice things that makes them feel good. Yes, God.
But whenever you see only positive stuff, you just can't trust it. You suspect it whenever you see it.
No, Guy, no, because you think there are people with intellect. There's something they understand that it's not all beautiful. Maybe there are other stuff. They also understand that it's something that moved through thousands of kilometers, but you still have that curiosity to say, okay, I know there are things that which I can connect to, I can rely to, I want to be part of this, but still, you're not depicting something that they cannot like understand or grasp anyway. You're going simple. Now, okay, good with that, but let's go into the first clash, which actually kind of how it's going to be intercepted. No, sit please. How it's going to be intercepted by the other side. Well, this bench would like you to believe that these messages are going to be either fully understand, someone here, or not fully understand, and then they're going to be curious about that. But we're saying there's something much more simple. No, not only that. We're saying you that. Look, they will get that message. We want them to start create thinking, like you then brought to you. When a new person, meet another new person, the first two things that they're doing is looking at each other. Here it's not possible. They're experiencing something else. We are giving off something very specific. We're telling them this is how we portray ourselves. This is what we want you to feel from us. This is us. And now the communication starts. And it's not about us. We did our first move in. Now it's their decision to make. If we say, and for us, our interest is to communicate, meaning that everything that we want to show is something that's going to invite them in. We're saying that they're already suspicious in first encounter. Like the Portuguese and the Spanish came to the South America, they took two different approach. One is we're going to show you all the technologies that we have, swords, horses, getting out of the boat. We're going to show you our power. What happened? Huge war. And then what the other side, this is what the Spanish did. The Portuguese did something completely different. They went out of the ship with a box. Box with spices, box with seeds, box with gifts. They gave them the gift. What did the Indians do? Give them the gold, because this is the gift that they wanted. This communication was perfect, because they said something that, and no, and yes, what happened later was in the encounter, and yes, if they will come, which is what we want to have, then the encounter, we will face it later. And we're saying, let them come. This is what the Voyager was intended to do. Please let them come. So, the encounter was good. This is what we want. Yes, go first.
When you said a dead body, so good-hearted species will want to help us. Bad-hearted species will realize that we won't be doormats if they attack. Neutral species would either disengage or have trust in relationships.
We're saying that there are things that are being intercepted as good, things intercepted as bad, and there are things maybe intercepted as neutral. If you send them a dead body, you're going to just engrave in their brain. There's lots of dead bodies there. I want them to think, oh, they're nice, let's go meet them. This is the idea. Now, second class, very important. This is why the whole race to the moon, the whole race to the Voyager, everything was how we shape ourselves as a human species. We look forward, not to 1,000 years, but to 1,000,000 years forward. We're saying one day we're going to inhabit Mars, we're going to inhabit other planets. This thing is defining us as something different, something that's aspiring to do good. We're shaping the history. We are saying this is the normative value that we want to create. We want to create this encounter to come to people, whatever it is, come here and meet us. By doing this, we're shaping the message that we're sending out. Yes, today we're living in a specific world that has problems, but it will go away. What we've sent is what we want to be then. We want to be there. What we want to be in 2,000 million years, whatever it is. So these are two classes. We brought you a very extensive expansion about why is it important, the first impression, just to create this communication, because this is something that was not brought. This is how it's going to be intercepted. We're saying before that, it's much more important how they're going to meet us using that box. And this is for itself needs to be the reason that we're going to take it. Second, I'm looking forward, it's a second question, definitely is ours. And for these reasons, I'm just glad to be the witness for this.